Hello friends, this is SR for CA. Today my agenda to deal with one of the Act, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. For better understanding of this act, I am going through some multiple choice questions, some practical problems, some theoretical questions. Okay, right now I am going through first multiple choice questions. Okay, right. Here, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 serves dash purposes. We know the purpose of Prevention of Money Laundering Act to prevention money laundering. To prevention money laundering. We know money laundering. Money laundering means whoever attempts to indulge or knowingly assists or knowingly is a party or it involving or is actually involved in any process or activity connected with the proceeds of crime. Okay, it includes concealment, possession, okay, you are use and projecting and claiming it as untainted property shall be guilty of offense of money laundering. Okay, this is we know money laundering. Okay, what is money laundering? Money laundering, whosoever attempts to indulge attempts to indulge or knowingly its assets or knowingly is a party or is actually involved in the process of relating to proceeds of crime, okay, or including its concealment, possession, transfer, okay, or use and projecting or claiming it as a untainted property shall be guilty of offense of money laundering. Okay, here we know proceeds of crime. Okay, proceeds of crime. What is proceeds of crime? Proceeds of crime, any property. Proceeds of crime, any property derived or obtained directly or indirectly with the results of schedule of offense. Okay, with the results of crime money relating to scheduled offense. Scheduled offense, what are scheduled offense? Scheduled offense, the offense as specified in part A of schedule. The offense as specified in part B of schedule, if total value of such offense more than 1 crore or the offense as specified in part C of schedule, those are scheduled offenses. Okay, proceeds of crime, any property derived or obtained, okay, directly or indirectly with relating to scheduled offense, with relating to scheduled of crime money, with relating to crime money with result of scheduled offense. Okay, schedule, we know scheduled offense, the offense is specified in part A of schedule, the offense is specified in part B of schedule if total value 1 crore or more. The offense is specified in part C of schedule. Okay, the offense is specified, those are scheduled offenses, crime money, okay, money laundering. This is relating that one. Okay, next, first purpose, prevent. What is the purpose of Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002? What is the first purpose? Prevent money laundering. Money laundering, we know money laundering. Okay. Now, secondly, what is this? What is the purpose of what is the second purpose of Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002? To confiscation of property. Confiscation of property derived from or in money laundering. Which property whatever property we received, whatever property we arrived in money laundering, that is confiscated by central government. So in those central government, special court has the authority to confiscate the property. Okay, now next we need to learn property. Which property we need to consider? We shall consider which property under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. We know Property means any kind of property, whether corporeal or incorporeal, tangible or intangible, movable or immovable. Okay, whether it includes, maybe it includes instruments, deed. It results with title or interest of such a property. Okay, this is property, right? Next. Yeah, here second, three distinct stages of money laundering does not include. Okay, but we know money laundering is a single process, but actually it's a cycle broken into three distinct stages. First stage placement, second stage layering, third stage integration. Okay, first stage First stage, placement is the initial stage. Okay, in that stage, when crime money injected into the formal financial system, when crime money injected into the formal financial system, that is placement. Okay, next layering. Okay, first stage, when crime money injected into the formal financial system. Okay, next second stage. In second stage, layering and move are spread over different accounts and different countries, spread over different accounts and different countries. Second stage. Okay, third stage. This is a final stage, that is integration. In such stage, in that stage, what will there? In such stage, in that stage, okay, offender or who are person receiving such crime money used as clean money. So this is the third stage and final stage. Okay, integration. Money laundering is a single process, but it's a cycle broken down into three distinct stages. First stage is placement, second stage is layering, third stage is integration. In placement stage, crime money injected into the formal financial system. In layering stage, layering and moving spread over different accounts, different countries, that crime money in that second stage. Okay, in third stage, offender or person receiving such a crime money used as clean money. Okay, clean money or white money. Okay, that is integration stage. Okay, right. Next, here multiple methods through which money can be laundered and used profit being made. We know multiple methods. Using of these multiple methods, money can be laundered and making of use profit. What are those methods? First, we know cash smuggling. Cash smuggling means moving of cash one location to another location. That is cash smuggling. Okay, we know deposit of cash in Swiss bank accounts. Deposit of cash in Swiss bank accounts. That is cash smuggling. Okay, another one is structuring. Structuring means cash broken down into small formal receipts, small money orders. Okay, cash broken down into small money orders. Okay, that is structuring. Another method, laundering via real estate. Buy land and sell it for making profit. Buy land and sell it for making profit. This is another method, laundering via real estate. We know drug trafficking. This is one of the another method, drug trafficking. Stock market scams. Okay, stock market scams. Okay, bribery and corruption, kidnapping and extortion. These are all multiple methods. Okay, using of these methods, money can be laundered for making use profit. We know these are all methods, right? Next, money laundering can erode a nation's economy. Yeah, yes, we know money laundering. That is whosoever attempts to indulge or knowingly assists or knowingly is a party or involving or it is actually involved or is involved a process or any activity relating to proceeds of crime, relating to proceeds of crime. Okay, it includes concealment, possession, transfer or use and projecting, or it claimed as a untainted property shall be guilty of offense of money laundering. This is we know. Oh, okay, through this money laundering it affects economy inflation. It affects adversely affect the global market. It adversely affect the global market. It affects inflation. It reflects interest and exchange rates of economy. It through money laundering, terrorist increase of terrorists and militant securities also. Okay, right. Next, yeah, when Prevention of Money Laundering Bill became an act after presenting after assent from President when 17th January 2003 bill became after taking of President assent. But when the act came into force, the act 1st July 2005 came into force. The act came into force when the act came into force 1st July 2005. This is we know, right. Next, yeah, payment system. What is the payment system under Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002? Payment system. Payment system, it enables payment to be affected between payer and beneficiary. Payer and beneficiary in case of settlement of a service, clearing, okay, clearing or paying or all of them. It includes yeah, transactions, operations. The systems enable due to credit card operations, debit card operations, smart card operations, okay, other similar operations, money transfer operations. These are all comes under the payment system under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. You can do even though the money transfer through credit card operations or the money transfer to money transfer operations, smart card operations, whatever operations you done, that can be considered under the payment system Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, right. Next, yeah, here beneficial owner. Who is beneficial owner? Who is client? We need to know who is beneficial owner. Beneficial owner means a person who controls ultimately juridical person. The person being a person on whose behalf being conducted, okay, uh, who ultimately controls a client of reporting entity, clients of a reporting entity. That person can be called as a beneficial owner. Okay, beneficial owner. Client, here we know client. Who are client? Who are reporting entity. Reporting entity, banking company. Any banking company, any banking company can be considered as a reporting entity. Any banking company, financial institution, intermediary, any person being conducted a designated business of profession. Okay, these are all reporting entity. Who are reporting entity? Any banking company, financial institution, okay, intermediary, any person who being conducted a designated business or profession. These are all reporting entity. Client, who are client? Client, a person engaged in a transaction, engaged in a financial transaction or activity with reporting entity. A person engaged in a financial transaction or activity with a reporting entity, that person can be called as a client. That person can be called as a client, that client to a reporting entity. Okay, whoever controls the client of a reporting entity, that person called as a beneficial owner. That person can be called as a beneficial owner. Okay, we know beneficial owner, we know client, we know reporting entity. Okay, here reporting entity, financial institution, any banking company, okay, intermediary, any person who are conducting designated business or profession. Okay, here any banking company, any banking company registered, defined under section under Banking Regulation Act 1949. Banking Regulation Act 1949, that is regarding banking company. Financial institution, okay, financial institution defined under section under the provisions of RBI Act 1934. 1934, it includes non-banking financial company, that also one of the financial institution. Nidhi chit fund company, that also one of the financial institution. Okay, post department of post of government of India, this one also financial institution. Payment system operator, this person also payment system operator, these are all considered as a financial institution. Okay, now intermediary, who are intermediary? Intermediary, broker, stockbroker, sub-broker, say transfer agent, okay, register to an issue, okay, trustee of a trust deed, right, member of any stock exchange, member of any stock exchange, association or association registered with Securities Contract Regulation Act 1952, Securities Contract Regulation Act, right. uh, yeah, the portfolio manager, portfolio manager, investment advisor, okay, these are all intermediary, these are all intermediary. Intermediary can be considered as a reporting entity under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Now we know money laundering, okay, proceeds of crime, property, scheduled offense, payment system, okay, client, banking company, okay, financial institution, right, intermediary, reporting entity, okay, these are all these are all under Prevention of Money Laundering Act, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Now further, right here, yeah, next, now punishment under section 4 of Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Okay, punishment, whoever commits offense, uh, offense of money laundering, but it does not include such offense in yeah, narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances act 1985, 1985, okay, NDPS act 1985. In such case, what is the punishment? Imprisonment not less than 3 years, but which may extend to 7 years in case that offense not covered under narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances act 1985. In case such offense regarding narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances act 1985, in such case the punishment imprisonment not less than 3 years, but which may extend to 10 years, okay, right. Next, yeah, now we need to know what is the obligation of reporting entity, what is the obligation of any banking company, financial institution, intermediary, any person who are conducting a designated business or profession, okay, what is the obligation of that a reporting entity? The reporting entity shall maintain records of its details of its claims and its beneficial owners, and should maintain confidentiality, and the reporting entity shall maintain confidentiality. Okay, maintenance of records, what are the records under what are the records need to be maintained by reporting entity? The records about all transactions, okay, all transactions including those transactions those transactions informed to the director and its clients detail identity, verify its identity of its clients and its beneficial owners, okay, these are all details shall maintained by reporting entity. But how many years shall maintain? 5 years, 5 years from the date of arising of the such transaction, okay, right. Further, identity identity of its clients and its beneficial owners and correspondent of such a business correspondent of such a business address. Reporting entity shall maintain 5 years from after closing of business relationship between client and reporting entity. Okay, we know those 2 points. Now further, yeah, director here adjudicating here the hierarchy of here hierarchy of adjudicating authority, hierarchy of appeal goes, we know first adjudicating authority, next stage appellate tribunal. Okay, next appellate tribunal, next special court, next high court. This is the hierarchy of appeal, this is the hierarchy of appeal. Okay, first adjudicating authority, second second appellate tribunal, third special court, fourth appellate tribunal. Okay, here appellate tribunal, which is can be considered as an appellate tribunal. This appellate tribunal, which one appellate tribunal established under smugglers and foreign exchange manipulators, Forfeiture of Property Act 1976. Okay, which appellate tribunal established under that act, that appellate tribunal take deals offenses deals under Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, right? We know appellate tribunal. Okay, here director. Now what is the power of director? What is the power of director? We know power of director. Director can impose fine, can inquire reporting entity. Okay, when director can impose the fine on a reporting entity, whenever reporting entity fail such obligations, then director can impose and inquire and conduct audit reporting entity. Okay, reporting entity. This act gives immunity to, in case of civil and criminal proceedings. This act, Prevention of Money Laundering Act, gives immunity to reporting entity in case of civil and criminal proceedings, right? Next, yeah, in case obligations fail by reporting entity, in such cases director shall give you a warning in writing. Okay, direct to comply specific instructions, impose fine from not less than 10,000 but which may extend to 1 lakh for each failure. Okay, next you conduct audit. Director can conduct audit. This is where this is director can proceedings on reporting entity, right? Next, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 gives wide powers to authorities for attachment of property in case suspected to be involved in money laundering, suspected to be involved in money laundering. Okay, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 gives wide powers to authorities to attach such property involved in money laundering. Okay, we know, right? Yeah. Next, who are the competent authority for attachment of property under Prevention of Money Laundering Act? Okay, the director or any officer not below the rank of deputy director. The director or any officer not below the rank of deputy director. Those are a competent party. Those are competent authority to attach property, to attach a property such that involved in money laundering. Okay, it was involved in money laundering. Okay, right? Yeah, we know provisionally attached property shall not exceed 180 days shall not exceed 180 days from the date of order by competent authority. Okay, we know provisionally attached property shall not exceed 180 days from the date of order by competent authority. Okay, that we know, right? Next, yeah, special court has the authority to confiscate the property under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Yeah, under Prevention of Money Laundering Act, special court has the power to confiscate the property, right? Next, after confiscate of such a property, who are holding that property? Central government. Central government shall vest the property, right? Next, the director, the director or any person aggrieved by order of adjudicating authority. The director or any person aggrieved by the order of adjudicating authority shall file a application to appellate tribunal within 45 days from the date of receiving of such order. Okay, any person, any director or any person who are receiving a order, who are aggrieved by order of adjudicated authority shall file a application to appellate tribunal within 45 days from the date of receiving of such order. Okay, appellate tribunal expeditiously, as soon as possible, as soon as endeavor shall dispose, may dispose within 6 months from the date of receiving of application from director or any person. We know the procedure regarding remedy, right? Next, yeah, if members of a bench, okay, if members of a bench differ in any point, in any point or points, they shall state what are the point or points are refer to chairman. Chairman himself can hear the point or points, or it can refer the member of a third member of appellate tribunal. Okay, appellate tribunal, majority of members on a point shall consider and give a dispose a suggestion in case of differing points. Okay, right. Next, any person aggrieved by order of appellate tribunal, in such case what is the remedy? Then next, further appeal goes to High Court within 60 days from the date of receiving of order by appellate tribunal. Okay, appellate tribunal, right? Yeah, who are actually Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, who are arguing in front of Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, those persons can be called as a public prosecutor. Same who are arguing in front of special court, those persons can be considered as public prosecutor, and these special courts can override the provisions of Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. Okay, special courts means it is a court of session. It opened with consultation it established by central government with the consultation of Chief Justice of High Court. Okay, Chief Justice of High Court, right? Yeah, another one. No police officer shall investigate. No police officer shall investigate unless it has took a permission. Central government by special or general order. Okay, right. Yeah, offenses under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, those are non-bailable and cognizable offenses. Cognizable and non-bailable offenses. But in case in case public in case public prosecutor shall oppose the application and shall give proper grounds for not misleading and not any offense done under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. In such cases, under this act, bail 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 can be there. Bail can be there. Actually, any offense, the actually offense under Prevention of Money Laundering Act, cognizable under non-bailable. But in case public prosecutor shall give the opposition and give proper evidence, when special court satisfied, then in such cases that is bailable. Another one is one exception. What is in case a person who was under the age of 16 years below, okay, any sick person, any woman or any informed person, in such case also bail can be there. Bail can be there, but actually it is a cognizable and non-bailable offense. Okay, we know under Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, right? Yeah, here reciprocal arrangement. Okay, here contracting state means any other country, any place of outside India, or any country, any foreign country or any place outside India, that is can be considered as contracting state. Okay, offenses under cross border implications. We know, yeah, a person conducting a offense. Okay, a person conducting a offense of place outside India, but such offense includes part A, part B, part C of schedule offense of in India. Okay, who are conducting place outside India, who have process of crime, transferred to India from place outside India. Okay, such offense. Another any conducting in India through it has a proceeds of crime money. Okay, it transferred to place outside India from India. Okay, in such cases, investigating officer shall send a letter of request to a competent authority or court, or competent authority corresponding other place outside India for examine and circumstances of case. Examine facts and circumstances of case and take steps as specified by special court. Okay, collect the information and dispatching to special court. Okay, Okay, right. Same as this letter of request received by central government from contracting state for examining facts and circumstances of case, for take proposal partake specified acts mentioned by contracting state authority, okay, who are collecting the information and evidence and pass it to contracting state. This is yeah, this is reciprocal arrangement between contracting state and central government. Okay, right. Next, we know penalty. If within 6 months a person shall not paid within 6 months from the receiving of order by adjudicating authority, in such case adjudicating authority shall impose and collect the recovery of fines under Income Tax Act 1961 tax recovery procedures. Those procedures are applicable in such case under Prevention of Money Laundering Act also. Money Laundering Act. Recovery of fines and penalty. Recovery of fines and penalty. Okay, right. In case false information given by who are who are attempts to indulge or who are knowingly assists those persons, when refused to sign, when refused to answer a question by put by adjudicating authority, competent authority or adjudicating authority, in such case fine and imprisonment shall be levied. Okay, right. Next, we know letter of request to be deemed as a evidence. Letter of request to be deemed as a evidence, right? In case false information provided by who are attempts to indulge or knowingly assists regarding money laundering, in such case what is the imprisonment and penalty? Not less than, which may extend to 2 years or which may extend to 50,000. The fine, okay, imprisonment which may extend to 2 years, or fine which may extend to 50,000 rupees. 50,000 rupees. Okay, in case refuse to answer a question put by authority or refuse to sign, in such case not less than 500 rupees, but which may extend to 50,000 rupees for each failure. Okay, that is the regarding penalty. Sorry, not less than 500 rupees, but which may extend to 10,000 rupees for each failure. When in case the person who attempts to indulge or the person who are knowingly assists regarding money laundering, that person refuse to sign or refuse to answer a question put by authority, in such case the fine not less than 500 rupees, but which may extend to 10,000 for each failure. Okay, in case giving of false information, in such case which may extend to 2 years or which may extend to 50,000 rupees fine, right? Okay, yeah, we know for preventing of money laundering, the financial task force, financial intelligence task force, okay, financial action task force, FA, financial action task force. This is global, this is international level body. In India followed recommendations of financial action task force for preventing of money laundering. We know origination of money difficult to detect where it is originate the money in case money laundering. So in such cases recommendations of financial action task force we followed. Okay, in India at New Delhi set up another financial intelligence unit of India. Financial intelligence unit of India. Okay, this is one of the task force in our India. it recommends what are the preventive measures need to be taken for preventing of money laundering, because increasing money due to money laundering, increase of terrorist global wise, it affects economy of worldwide. Okay, right. You know, in case of provisional attachment, the period shall not exceed 180 days from the date of order of attachment. But in such case, in case any stay order given by High Court, so the period shall not be count. Further, not less than further not more than 30 days. In case after closing of stay order, that one also not considered for counting of 180 days. Okay, counting of 180 days, right? After within 30 days, investigate any authority complaints about such a attachment to the central government within not less than within 30 days from attaching of such property. Okay, that one point, right? Now I am going to some practical problems. Okay, Mr. Ram gave two of his friends cash amount of 2 lakhs each in case of dire necessity for their business purposes. Okay, later at the time of return, he asked both of them in lieu of the same to buy his product via credit card and online transfers in installments through next couple of months time, for which he issued bills to adjust the amount in his account books. Okay, does this payment through credit card and online transfer mode are covered under Money Laundering Act? We know payment system under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Even though the payment done through credit card operations, debit card operations, money transfer operations, smart card operations or similar operations, whatever may be operated the money from one person to another, so such a operation can be considered as under money laundering. So even though money transferred through credit card, but the payment system comes under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So here yes, money laundering transactions done via credit card and online payments comes under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Okay, next here asking one descriptive question. Mr. Fraudulent has been arrested for a cognizable and non-bailable offence. Okay, punishable for a term of imprisonment for more than 3 years under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Advice as to how can he be released on bail in this case. We know actually under Prevention of Money Laundering Act, any offence that is cognizable and non-bailable, but in case public prosecutor shall oppose the application and shall give evidence not guilty of money laundering. Okay, in such case, next when a person having age less than below 16 years or any sick person or woman or informed person, okay, in such case bail is available, but actually in other cases no bailable. That is here second one practical question. Next here, explain the meaning of term money laundering. Explain the meaning of term money laundering. Okay, a known smuggler was caught in transfer of funds illegally exporting narcotic drugs from India to some countries in Africa. You know, simply money laundering, illegal money, conversion of illegal money to white money or clean money. Simply conversion of illegal money or black money into white money or clean money. So this is money laundering process. Okay, process of money laundering. But any Avala transaction not can be that is not a payment system. Okay, yeah. Here, Jed, a known smuggler, was caught in transfer of funds illegally exporting narcotic drugs from India to some countries in Africa. So, state the maximum punishment that can be awarded to him under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. We know in case of the offense covered under Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. In such case, not less than 3 years imprisonment, not less than 3 years, but which may extend to 10 years and fine, and shall also fine also, and we shall be levied on fine also, right? Next, the adjudicating authority appointed under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 issued an order attaching certain properties of XYZ Limited alleged to be involved in money laundering for a specified period. The company, aggrieved by the order of adjudicating authority, seeks your advice about the remedy that is available under the Act. Advice explaining the relevant provisions of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Okay, here adjudicating authority appointed under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act issued an order attaching certain properties of XYZ Limited alleged to be involved in money laundering for a specified period. The company, aggrieved by the order of adjudicating authority, seeks your advice about the remedy that is available under the Act. Advice explaining the relevant provisions of Prevention of Money Laundering Act. We know here any director or any person aggrieved by order of adjudicating authority shall file a application to appellate tribunal within 45 days from the date of receiving of such order. Okay, further appeal goes to within 60 days from the date of receiving of appellate tribunal. But appellate tribunal first give opportunity of being to aggrieved party and shall aside and modify and set keep aside the appeal after setting, you know. Okay, these are some practical questions. Another further I am going. Yeah, Manav Kalyan, one of the practical questions. Manav Kalyan, a charitable organization, opened a current account with Messer ABZ Bank on 1st July 2012. This account was closed on 30th June 2016. This account was closed on 30th June 2016. So, based on this information, we need to understand close the business relationship between client. Manav Kalyan is one of the client, one of the client to reporting entity. Who is reporting entity here? Mr. ABZ Bank. Mr. ABZ Bank is a reporting entity. Manav Kalyan is a client. Okay, is a client. Here the transaction, when transaction closed 30th June 2016 transaction, business relationship closed when transaction entered on 1st July 2016. Based on this information, we know reporting entity Mr. ABC Bank shall maintain records about its transaction up to 5 years from 1st July 2012. So 5 years. So 1st July 2017 up to 1st July 2017. Reporting entity Mr. ABZ Bank shall maintain. And regarding, even though business relation closed, but identity of its clients and its business beneficial owners and corresponding of its business address shall maintain for further 5 years from the closing of business relationship. That is obligation of reporting entity. Here, referring to the obligations of banking companies under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2012, specify the period up to which said bank has to maintain records related to the account of Manav Kalyan. We know transaction about a transaction. Yeah, Mr. ABZ Bank, that is reporting entity, shall maintain 5 years from 1st July 2012 up to 1st July 2017. Further, from 30th June 2016. Further 5 years, Mr. ABZ Bank reporting entity shall maintain records about identity of its clients and its business beneficial owners and its correspondent address of business. Okay, that we know. Right, next here yeah, Mr. Manoranjan. Mr. Manoranjan, an officer investigating a case of money laundering. Okay, Mr. Manoranjan is a investigating officer. We know is of the view that the important evidence relating to the case is available in a foreign country. Foreign country, that is nothing but contracting state. With which agreement for exchange of information has already been entered into. Has already been entered into. Advice Mr. Manoranjan, referring to the provisions of Prevention of Money Laundering Act about the procedure to be followed for collecting such evidence. Okay, letter of request. Mr. Manoranjan shall give a letter of request to the contracting state who are competent authority in that country. Right, with the consultation, with the consult of special court. Okay, exchange of information for enforcing the provisions of under this act, and for exchange of information under prevention under this prevention of money laundering under this act and corresponding law of that country. Okay, investigating investigating cases of certain cases of under this act. Right, yeah. Next, Mr. Another Mr. JJ was guilty by the authorities under section 13 of Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, and monetary penalty was levied on Mr. JJ, but Mr. JJ could not pay the penalty amount. What is the mechanism to recover the fine or monetary penalty imposed on any person by the authorities under section 13 or section 63 of Prevention of Money Laundering Act? We know under Prevention of Money Laundering Act, follow the tax recovery procedures under Income Tax Act 1961, and here Mr. JJ shall not paid within 6 months from imposing of such a fine. So officer under Prevention of Money Laundering Act shall follow the tax recovery procedures under Income Tax Act 1961 for recovery of fine or penalty under this one. Okay, right. Here Mr. Gambler has been arrested for a cognizable and non-bailable offence punishable for a term of imprisonment for more than 3 years under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. He seeks your advice as to how can he released on bail. Advise him. We know that one. Next, Mr. Dawood Musha, a known smuggler, was caught in transfer of funds illegally exporting narcotic drugs from India to some countries in Africa. So state the maximum punishment that can be awarded to him under the Prevention of Money Laundering. We know this one. Here transfer means sale, purchase. Okay, possession, lien, right, gift, right. Yeah, these are all transfer under Prevention of Money Laundering. Transfer means any sale, purchase, mortgage, pledge, gift, any other type of transfer, right, title, lien, possession. These are all comes under the transfer definition and under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Okay, here, yeah, an appellate tribunal consisting of 2 members was formed to hear the appeal prepared by Mr. Hari being aggrieved by an order made by the adjudicating authority under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. 2 members of the bench differ in their opinion on a particular point referred to the appeal. Explain the next course of action to be followed by the bench members under the said act, we know in appellate tribunal differ in a point by members. So refer the chairman. Chairman alone can himself hear the point, or can refer the third member of appellate tribunal. So based on majority of members agree on a point, shall considered on such basis opinion order shall passed by appellate tribunal. Okay, we know that one, right? Next, Mr. Narayan, Mr. Narayan willfully gives false information, refuses to give evidence and to sign a statement made by him in the course of proceedings under the provisions of Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Explain the penal provisions and mode of recovery of fine or penalty enumerated under this act, not less than 500 rupees, and but which may extend to 10,000 rupees for each failure, and recovery mechanism followed tax recovery procedures under Income Tax Act 1961, we know. In case other one, imprisonment, any false information, in case imprisonment, which may extend to 2 years or which may extend to 50,000 rupees, right? This is regarding Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. I hope it is useful you, and please subscribe my channel. Please like it, comment and share it. Okay, please stay tuned on my channel. Thank you.